misunderstand. It seems pretty fucking simple.
I'm not listen, I don't misunderstand anything. I have an answer to every question.
Amazing how that works. Chill out with the Hitler idea. No, this is not Hitler idea. I'm not saying kill them. I'm saying enslave them. Does that mean beat them? No, that doesn't mean beat them. They're just our slaves. On average, dumbass, did slaves care about slavery? Yeah. I think we should make religious people slaves. What do you guys think?
Bro, you were sitting there for like 45 minutes.
Oh no, I wasn't listening to you. I was talking to my friends. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, why were you sitting in here so long? Just
yeah, I know. I joined a lot. Yeah, I just joined a lot earlier and muted everything. Yeah. Yes.
This is interesting, Steven. Look, according to Acts, Herod and Pontius Pilate were decreed. They were predestined to kill Jesus.
Okay, so nobody, yeah, okay. I'm not trolling, by the way. I genuinely think we should make religious people slaves.
Why you atheists? You atheists?
I'm not atheist, bro. I'm an agnostic. I already told you that.
Doesn't realize that we are slaves already. We're slaves to Allah.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I'm making. It's like, okay, so think about it like this. So you guys are like slaves to a god that we have.
Yeah.
I will even meet you halfway and say we have just as many reasons to believe that gods exist as much as gods don't exist. We have reasons for either side. Anybody thinking that it's 100% true, you're delusional. But apart from that,
can you answer this question?
Huh?
Can you answer this question in the chat? Let's go down first.
No, I'm talking right now. Yeah. So unless it's relevant to what I'm saying. If it is relevant to what I'm saying, then fine. Yeah.
It is.
Okay, but yeah, I'm explaining the reason why. I yet to explain the reason why I believe the thing. I don't know. You want to hear it?
You just said we have as much evidence for God as we don't.
Yeah, that's me being generous, by the way. I genuinely think that human beings aren't even closely capable to understanding whether God exists or doesn't exist.
That's you being ignorant, right now.
You think I'm ignorant?
Yeah, because if you look at secular scholars, excuse me, scientists, they don't admit to some things. Yeah, Abdulaziz knows this. When you go deep into the science field, right? Any field, biology, chemistry, whatever, right? The deeper you go, the more questions arise, not about why things are the way they are, but how things are the way they are.
That's amazing.
And then that gets you to the metaphysical, that gets you to the supernatural. Could there be, because when they look at this, they see complexity, right?
You're still in the realm of theory, by the way, until now. You have yet to like mention any type of evidence. It's everything you just mentioned right there is still theoretical, but keep going.
Evidence.
Oh, it's not about evidence. So therefore, when I say we have more reasons to believe, I'm talking about evidence. I'm talking about data. I'm talking about
Huh? This is the problem with you ignorant academic fools. You don't let me speak long enough to let me get to the point.
Oh no, that's fine. If at some point like the data comes up or the evidence, but it seems like you're basing this off theory.
It's not okay.
I'm just trying to save you time. Like that's it.
No. This isn't about saving time. This is about getting through that head of yours. Yeah.
Oh.
There are reasons. There are very, very good reasons, and most scientists, acknowledge these things that we as theists argue with, right? As a way to kind of validate the idea of God existing and Him being necessary, and they do it within looking at each respective field. Yeah, they look at bonding, look at DNA, look at the complexity. They don't attribute an agent to the complexity, right? But they do acknowledge that there could be an agent to the complexity,
which is my stance. Yeah. So I've said to you,
we say it is an agency, which is God, and that's more which is
based on
that's
what?
More probabilistic. That's more probabilistic.
Okay, you're saying it's more probabilistic. Now, according to scientists, as you just explained yourself, as far as scientists are concerned in science, no, there is no agent, or at least there are more reasons to believe there is no agent than there is an agent. And I was even generous enough to say to you, I'm even willing to meet you halfway and say that it's a 50-50 split. It's a coin toss.
Stop doing that.
Stop doing what? Stop doing what?
Why are you saying as a fact of reality that there is no agent? Do you seriously think
Okay,
you know
what
the
part of what?
absolute
No,
reality?
because now you're just lying about what I said. At what point when I said to you there's a 50-50 split of whether God exists or doesn't exist, and you interpreted that as me saying God doesn't exist? What part of
No, but
50-50
that's not
didn't you
what you
not
believe.
understand?
You're
No,
not okay. When you go 50-50,
yeah.
you're saying you're being generous. That's not how you argue your position by saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be generous and let's move a little bit forward, not to necessarily what I believe, but let me just give you the benefit of the doubt. We don't care about that shit. Give
Okay,
me
so
what
do
you
you...
believe and then shut up."
Okay, so I literally, if I'm saying to you that 50-50 is generous, then obviously my answer is somewhere under 50-50. Is that still not good enough to you? Do I need to narrow it down to like a specific number
Dude,
for you to be, even
listen,
be capable to engage with this
listen.
conversation?
If you're an agnostic and you believe in this 50-50 nonsense that you're bringing, all I have to do is give you 1%, right, of the theist side, and then you should be
No,
convinced.
if your 1% is already not included in the analysis that already is taking place, what do you
What
think this
analysis?
magical
What
1% is
analysis?
just going to come out of it?
What analysis are you
You
talking about?
yourself just explained how scientists, as far as they're concerned, things are mystical and magical and metaphysical, and we do genuinely have reasons to think, Jesus, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, things are really fucking weird.
You
Amazing.
exaggerate so much.
The only problem is that as far as science is concerned and scientists are concerned, there is no creator attached to that. So you yourself acknowledge that, but then you say to me, hey, I'm totally convinced that a creator is included in this, or an agent is included in this analysis. Why? What part of using science to understand if an agent exists or not, and scientists themselves come to the conclusion that we have more reasons to believe that an agent doesn't exist, and what part of that are you misunderstanding? It seems pretty fucking simple.
I'm not listen, I don't misunderstand anything. I have an answer to every question.
Amazing how that works. And you're the guy calling people ignorant.
Can you please
the guy who
stop
has
talking?
an answer for everything. Okay, go ahead.
Because you can't
Yeah,
stop talking.
just talk, man. Just go ahead.
Because all the questions you ask, I already know them because
I didn't ask any questions.
So yes,
I made
know
statements.
If you made a statement, then why are we having a conversation if a question never came up? Abdulaziz, do you see the mental illness? Do you see this?
What are you straw manning the fucking argument for now? What the fuck are you doing?
Bro, you just said
engage with what I'm fucking saying to you. I made a statement. You can engage with the statement that I'm making, which is a counterclaim to your claim. Your claim is that, hey, I believe God exists and I'm totally convinced of it. And then you go and yap on about how scientists themselves refuse to acknowledge an agent. And somehow that gives you the justification to say, hey, that's my reasoning for why God exists. It's obviously not coming from science, because as far as scientists are concerned, an agent doesn't exist. Or there are more reasons for what? Were you not understanding about that?
No, listen, brother. You made statements, right? You said like the ideas, you making statements and not asking me direct questions is like one of those liberal LGBTQ
you
people
made the claim, dumbass. Engage.
You made called trans.
Jesus Christ.
And they're just stating a statement.
Hey, how did this conversation start? I made a statement about how religious people should be slaves.
No, ask me a question.
And then, no, you already made a claim and I'm counterclaiming. That's how this works, dumbass. Like, do you understand how it works? When you make a claim and somebody argues with your claim, you then need to provide substantial evidence or explain and continue to like engage with the topic for like to have a debate. Do you understand how this works?
Shut up.
What do you mean shut up? Because you don't like the words that are coming out of my mouth? You just want to remain ignorant and dumb? No, this is literally the reason why I think the religious people should be slaves.
Can you stop speaking when
so you can do what?
Let me start and finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't interrupt me midway, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's very simple. I brought up the example of the secular scientists, scholars, whatever you want to say, to get you thinking, right? To get you thinking about how can we use science, right? Even if it's just getting to the idea of a necessary agent, yeah? How can we use science to do that? When you actually look into the works of the scientists, yeah, they don't mention God because of their respective field. God plays no role when they're talking about chemistry, biology, bonding, you know, and the anatomy of the cell and all of these different phenomenon. Yeah, gene splicing. They don't need to mention God because they're just talking about the respective fields, right? There's a series of questions that they do ask themselves, but they don't write in their academic papers. Yeah, like, why is this case? Why is this mechanism so complex and so aware of what it does, of what it has to do, and how it does what it does in order to get a certain thing as a product? Yeah, they ask these questions, but they don't attribute these questions to their science because it's philosophy, right? So the theist, we make this point. We say this: we cannot prove God using science as itself to prove God directly. We can use science by looking at the effects of things, the behavior of things, yeah, the consequence of different events, right, to determine the importance or the value or the necessity of an intelligent agency, which we call God, right? It's like gravity. I'll give you an example. It's like gravity. You don't know gravity by testing gravity directly. You know gravity exists by testing the effects of the phenomenon. So the effects of gravity. God works the same way. Yeah, because God isn't in reality. Like physically, he's not in reality. He's outside of space and time. So we can't use space and time directly to prove God. So we have to look at the effects. That's simple.
Okay. So yeah, a whole spiel about basically how science doesn't, according to you, care about God, and thus doesn't include God into the analysis when they are doing it. Correct?
Doesn't understand, bro.
Okay. Does science acknowledge God? Yes or no?
Scientists do acknowledge the importance and value.
Does science, not the importance, not the validity, do they say it exists or not? Yes or no? It's a simple question. This is not a fucking gotcha. This is not a gotcha. This is.
Shut up. Can you shut up?
Simple question.
Extra comments. I don't need the extra comments. Okay. In science, in the field of science and scientific inquiry, for all the information we've accumulated, no, they don't use the word God.
Amazing how that works. God. You could have just said no. It would have been a whole lot simple. All right. So the idea is, why do you look at science and try to make it seem like your argument stands any ground when you are using science? Just stop using science. It's not obviously not your strong suit. It's like you actually genuinely want science to say that God exists, even though it doesn't. And you're trying to do a bunch of fucking random ass connections in your fucking mind to justify this delusion that you're living in. All right. So this is genuine. Yeah.
Okay. This guy's retarded.
No, you're a dumbass, my guy. You literally agree yourself. You're literally agreeing yourself that science does not recognize God. Doesn't recognize God, but then you continue to explain how science should be used to justify your belief in God or its existence.
Okay, let me say it again.
Amazing. So you're just going to repeat everything you just said. Let me just hear that, just to make sure.
No, because you didn't understand, you didn't listen.
Okay, that's amazing.
I'm going to keep it simple.
Amazing.
What scientists discover in regards to experimentation under the science field, they report that. When it comes to their individual, perception of what they're discovering, right? They're going to ask more questions that they're not going to include in the science. So obviously, if you open your damn mind, when they're writing scientific knowledge or information, they're not going to use the word God, right? But when you ask these scientists, individual scholars, what they think is the reason or is the cause, or ask them about the complexity that occurs within these microorganisms or whatever their field is, they will answer with this.
Okay,
right?
so
the beauty,
do you think that proves that God exists then? Does that give you a clear answer?
It does.
Okay, so you're saying there is a genuine reason that we can say that there is a possibility that God exists. That's what scientists are saying. Yep. Agreed?
Okay.
They're acknowledging that there is a possibility that God exists.
It's very simple. TB, the same thing.
Okay, I'm talking to one person, but now you're interrupting. I don't know. Do you want to make this complicated? You can do it if you want.
No, Abdul Aziz is more knowledgeable than me, bro. Like,
okay, so all right. So I will repeat back to you what the fuck is going on here to see if it is I'm understanding what you guys are saying. So you're saying Scientists themselves, apart from their academia,
I'm getting tired of your voice. Assalamu alaikum, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, salam.
Bro?
This
How you guys
soy
doing,
boy, this little femboy piece of shit, bro.
Why is he
Ricky,
just like...
Whoa. Throughout the ages, human beings have gone to war with one another in order to prove that they are righteous in their ways. The consequences of being wrong? Death. Fast forward to the present, and no longer is there a thirst for battle. Instead, we have keyboard warriors and content gladiators like the mighty Hamas Piker and Fuentes Hitlerius, being heavily incentivized to just gaslight the shit out of everyone.
No, I don't give a shit about like someone being called a cracker, okay?
When people call me gay because I've never had a girlfriend. If anything, it makes me less gay.
As a result, we find ourselves in a place that no longer makes sense. Who or what is right and wrong? What should we believe in? And what should be fought for? That is why I created Debate Deathmatch. 3 judges, 2 competitors, 1 topic. No, because you're fucking retarded, my guy.
Never mind, I'm stupid.
You are stupid. You're an idiot. Yes, you realized it. Thank God.
Bro, sometimes you just have to fucking get out of it. Just think outside the box and just do it, man.
No, I'm still talking. Yes, thanks to fucking capitalism. Fucking dumbasses. Who even told you to fucking talk in life? Shut your mouth. The winner walks away with the spoils of war, ready for the next matchup, and the loser goes back to the drawing board empty-handed. More importantly though, a record is made, and anyone who dares challenge it will first have to prove themselves worthy. Jesus. Alright, there you go. That's how that conversation goes. Soy boy, femboy, N-word. Amazing how that works. Great conversation right there. Real substance. Jesus Christ. Just go round and around to basically just say to me, hey, scientists, while they're at work, they do not try to prove that God exists. But, you know, in their free time, they recognize that God potentially exists. Therefore, me, who believes that God exists 100%, can use them as an indication for my belief in God. They themselves, even in their private time, do not acknowledge 100% the existence of God. They say that God potentially exists. There is a reason to believe, and I'm not disputing that. I too, being agnostic, recognize that there is a possibility that God exists. But at no point am I going to say to you that there's a 100% chance that God exists. These people are. So you question them, and their answer is, hey, science, no, it can't prove that God exists. Okay, so why are you talking about science then? Use the thing that you have explained yourself or given you a reason to believe that God exists. What is that thing? Because it's not science. We know it's not science. It's religion. It's religion. It's equal to mythology, child stories, and fucking tales. It's a work of fiction. It's amazing how that works. Has good lessons in it. Awesome. Perfect. Hallelujah. Just let it be. It's a fucking book on the shelf. So yeah, this is legitimately the reason why we should enslave religious people. But I'm genuinely hard on that stance. We're genuinely hard on that stance. Apparently, Zen, apparently, yes, I am. I literally just got called the N-word. Yeah. Apparently I am. Yeah. I genuinely doubted the idea of me even being brown, to be honest. But apparently, no, I'm about as black as you possibly can get. Yeah, literally hard R. Yeah, like the whole thing. Yeah, it's amazing how that works. Chill out with the Hitler. No, this is not Hitler ideas. I'm not saying kill them. I'm saying enslave them. Does that mean beat them? No, that doesn't mean beat them. They're just our slaves. So you do what we tell you to do. You do not get the freedom of having free will as long as you want to dictate every part of your life and everybody else's life by the ideas of a book, right? You do not get to do that. You are better off literally being handled by human beings who can think for themselves and use things like science and maths to derive logic, not a fucking dusty old book. All right? There you go. There are millions and billions of books in the world. I could easily just pick one up and say, hey, I'm living by the rules of this book. There you go. That is literally the equivalent. In fact, I probably have a better chance of acting in good manner out into the world by reading a child's book, right? Because at least that child book is new. So yeah, it's probably going to have a bunch of ideas that have been filtered out and tested and whatever. So yeah, that's why these are not Hitler ideas. This is just, you do not get to like dictate what decisions you make. You don't get to decide whether you go to church. You don't get to decide whether you go to work or not. No, like you are given a schedule and you adhere to that schedule. You're not allowed to act outside of that norm until you are able to merge with society and become a normal functioning human being. There you go. So there is an end to that slavery. But yeah, the best POC streamer on Twitch? Based, yeah. What is POC? What is POC? That is probably impossible outside of Estonia and Czechia. I'm not saying to kill the Jews. I just want to enslave them. Like, bro, you guys are already like openly admittingly slaves. Like, you yourselves call yourselves slaves, and you're fine with being slaves under the rule of God. Why all of a sudden now you have a problem with being slaves? It's like, you are slaves, you are still slaves. Just your master has changed. Like, the problem of being a slave is being a slave. You guys are openly okay with being slaves, obviously. So now the master matters. As far as I'm concerned, the black people in America, the reason why they hated slavery was not because of their master or the difference in their masters. It was not like, okay, if you had a good master, then you were okay with being a slave. If you had a bad master, you hated being a slave. No, all slaves equally hated being slaves. And it was only a matter of time before some of these slaves stood up and started fighting. And then everybody joined together because it's just genuinely just not good. That's the idea of that. But you guys are like, this is something you want to be. This is something you guys choose to be on a daily basis, 365 days a year. So my question to you is, nothing changes. You're still slaves, except now your master has changed. No difference. There you go. So any idea that this is a bad thing or whatever, if it's such a bad thing, why do you openly voice out of sync? What do you mean voice out of sync? Christians aren't slaves. You're all slaves. Anybody adhering to religion, you're a slave. That's it. As long as you're extreme. Again, my line was start with the extreme. Everybody else, they're not a worry for me. But the extreme religious people, person of color. Yeah, apparently I am a person of color. That's yeah. Yep. It's like me saying, well, I heard some guy's wife saying she's horny, so it's not rape. Okay, Zen, we've talked about analogies before. Please explain to me how me giving you the explanation of you were slaves before, you are slaves now, is synonymous with grape and not being grape. If you wanted to give another analogy, you could say, it's like me saying, well, I heard some guy's wife saying, not saying, it's not about just saying. You guys don't just say that you are slaves. You admit it, you are open to it, you intentionally make the conscious decision to be involved in that. So it's not just a matter of saying. So already your analogy is not synonymous, because had it been synonymous, you wouldn't have used the word saying. All right. So yeah, the wife is okay. So I'll try and phrase your analogy correctly. It's like me saying, Well, I was saying it's not great. This is absolutely impossible for me to engage with. It's absolutely not analogous. Absolutely not. I think you understand what it is I'm saying. I don't really think we need another analogy. It's pretty simple. You guys openly admit to being slaves. You're still slaves even after this condition that I'm suggesting for takes place. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is your master. But we have slaves in the past who didn't care about the masters. What they cared about was just the genuine fact of being slaves. But religious people are totally okay with being slaves. As far as we're concerned, they literally just, nobody's forcing religious people to be religious unless you're in Islam. That's a different topic. It's fine, my browser. Okay, base. They didn't know a life outside of that. Not true. Many killed being slaves because it was their normalcy. Okay, so, hey, you just admitted, like, there's no need to go into all of this because now you're trying to dispute the validity of what it is I'm saying. So you're saying, actually, streamer guy, we are not slaves. This is what all of this ranting you're doing about. That's what this is about, I can imagine. Because a woman wanted to be fucked by one man is not the same as being fucked by everyone. No, that's an entirely different thing. That's an entirely different thing. Being fucked is an intimate process, all right? Being fucked matters who the fucking is doing. When you are a slave, right? It's not the fucking that matters in that situation. What the woman cares about is not getting fucked, all right? Women love to get fucked on a daily basis. What is mattered is the person doing the fucking. So that's why this is absolutely not analogous. Because with the slaves, I gave you the example of the black people in the past in America, they didn't have a problem with who their master was. They had a problem with the actual thing happening, which is being a slave. That's what they had a problem with, all right? So, it's like you, in your analogy, the woman doesn't care about the person, so there's no reason to change the people. She cares about the fucking itself. But that's not true because there are women who do it for pleasure. So no, I'm not going to get into this spiel because you're just going to do the politician tactic, just change it a bunch of times. And no, I'm not going to, yeah. Yes, so even you admit it's about, she does care. Yes. In the slaves, they don't care. So the master is relevant. That's why I stand by this position. You're just yapping now. You're yapping not for no reason because I'm against religion. It's just your biases. They're coming up. They're flaring up. They're like, yeah, it's going off. No, we're not going to use your bogus fucking analogy. It's pretty simple. If you disagree with my analogy of slaves, all right? So stop talking, stop engaging with your analogy, because I know you want to do that. It's pretty simple. If there is a problem with the way I'm explaining this, you can explain it. Simple thing. I'm saying that slaves didn't care about who their master was. It's about being slaves is what they cared about. Do you disagree with that statement? Do you disagree with that statement? No, I'm not reading it. I'm not reading anything else. Do you disagree with that statement? Yes. Okay. So we know that's not the case because when they were rallying, the whole civil rights movement is not against their individual masters. What they cared about was not being slaves. That's the main thing. I am a slave of God and I care. You see? You are a slave of God. You openly admit it. You're not rallying in the streets, even though you know the downsides of being a slave. We have plenty of versions of history of slaves. We already know the consequences of being a slave, yet you openly admit to being a slave and you're totally okay with it. So the same principle that applies to those, I know you're still yapping, but you really need to listen to what it is I'm saying. So, those slaves had a problem with it. That's why they rallied. That's why they were not okay with it. You guys are totally okay with it. That's why it doesn't matter in this situation. You get that? They had a problem with it. They rallied against it. You already know the consequences of it. You're not rallying against it. You're totally okay with the idea of being a slave. Okay? That's why that is. If your argument is we're okay with being slaves, as long as God is our master. As far as I'm concerned, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant because, well, you genuinely have no evidence whatsoever to be totally convinced that even God exists for the first time. So my argument is, okay, you might like your master, but reality is reality. And at the end of the day, we don't have enough evidence to support the idea of whether God exists or not. What do you mean civil rights was not about... Okay, so when I say civil rights, what I mean is Jim Crow, all right? Because this is where civil rights... I misspoke, whatever. Take it as you want. Seems pretty pedantic. You know exactly what I'm getting at. I'm talking about Jim Crow days. When I'm talking about slavery, not talking about the 60s, all right? There was no slavery in the 60s. In the 60s, it was just they were being oppressed. That's why civil rights happened. They wanted the right to vote, all right? Jim Crow is the time of slavery. So I don't know why you would just point out that civil rights, fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. That's genuinely what I meant, all right? I hope there's no misunderstanding about it. Jim Crow was not about slavery. All right, slavery was a part of Jim Crow. You guys are just being pedantic. You know exactly what it is I'm talking about. You're just refusing to acknowledge it, all right? Okay, do you want me to not use anything? Not Jim Crow, not civil rights, not try and make your lives easier to distinct between events? Fine. Okay, guys, slavery. Slavery in America. Amazing how that works. You see, I can keep things simple. I won't even mention anything else and try and help you understand the situation. No, slavery in America. There way. Now we can't misunderstand each other. Amazing how you can't just point out random fucking stupid ass facts that matter very little to this conversation. No. Slavery in America. Now, okay, no, slaves don't have a problem with slavery. Really? Yeah, slaves were totally okay with slavery, were they? Yeah? Let's see. Let's see your answers. Did slaves care about slavery or not? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see the brave person. Did slaves care about slavery? Yes or no? It's a very simple concept. Did slaves care about slavery? It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. Like anything else you guys are just yapping about, it's just yap. Yes or no? Who's going to go first? Let's see. Any brave souls in chat? Let's see. Come on. Yes or no? Did slaves care about slavery? Yes or no? Yes, that's one. Anybody else? We got any other takers? Some, go fuck yourself. That's a non-answer. Yes or no? Any capable individual of using your fucking hands to type fucking letters on a keyboard, you cannot say yes or no. You don't need to be retarded right now. This is not the time you guys need to be retarded. It's a yes or no. If I don't see yes or no, I'm disregarding everything you say. So it's pointless. Anything you say at this point is stupid. Yes or no? Did slaves care about slavery? Let's see how long it takes you motherfuckers, you red pillars, who you like straight answers, and liberals can't ever give a straight answer, bro, and all of this shit. Let's see you fucking pansies now. Go ahead and explain to me now what a yes or no means. All right, let's see. Did slaves care about slavery? Let's see. You know, you don't want to answer it. I don't see yes, and I don't see no. What I see is yap, yap, yap. So keep it coming. It's all right. You're feeding the chat right now. You're feeding the chat right now. Like, yeah, Twitch is watching this. They're saying, oh, this guy has high engagement. Send a bunch of users to him. Yeah, let's go. Keep yapping. You're making my day right now. Keep yapping. Let's go. Yes or no. You have two options. And then we will continue, if you can manage to do that. Let's see. Only one person has managed to do this. Yes or no? Did slaves care about slavery? It's a very simple question. It's a very, very, very simple question. It's a very simple question. Let's see. It's not a binary answer. Oh, really, Xen? When was the last time you said a statement like that? Oof. It's not a binary. I answered too. No, you didn't globalize. I want yes or I want no. All right. That's what you guys are allowed right now, because you guys are just being pedantic motherfuckers. Yes or no? The question is very simple. You guys are just, yeah. That's how I have to engage with you. There is no other way to engage with you, motherfuckers. You such fucking losers. You guys are literally the cuck lords of cuckolds, all right? You guys are the lords of cucks, all right? You fucking pussy ass, bitch ass, fucking, yeah. No. Oh my God. Based, Zen, at least you answered. At least you were capable of answering. Okay, so there we go. We've got a yes and we've got a no. Anybody else? Any other takers? Shangyang, you were yapping away. Yes or no? Come on, Shangyang, you can do it. Find the courage, brother. Find the courage. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Globalize. No, you didn't answer. You're just playing the dominance game now. Now you're playing the game. Streamer, your question sucks. Suck a dick. Answer my question. Did slaves care about slavery? I said yes. Okay, so we got yes. Shangyang, are you capable of answering this question? 3 people have already answered it. Why are you the odd one out? Are you the fucking ugly duckling? I don't see a yes and I don't see a no. But a lot of them liked it. Yeah, how about we ask them that? Yeah. Holy shit. Like, well, obviously we have the knowledge we have. No, if the question was relative to height, my answer that I require is not yes or no. You know that's not the case. This is not about being nuanced or getting into the weeds or not. We haven't even started the conversation, right? The premise is what we are trying to understand. Where is it you stand within life, all right? Where is it you stand within life? If you think that slaves didn't care about slavery, we have a fundamental different understanding of reality, all right? So at no point can you say no, all right? And if you do, no, you can say it. It's just you're insane if you say no. At least Xen has the balls to do it. Do you have the balls to say no, or will you say yes? Did slaves care about slavery? It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question. When I'm asking you, I'm not asking you if there were people within slavery who were like retarded and genuinely liked the idea of being slaves. That's not what you're being asked. It's like, on average, dumbass, did slaves care about slavery? Yeah? Like, you can read between the lines. That's obviously what I'm saying. It's not like, hey, did every single slave... Well, they did eventually. It just took some people to stand up and say, enough of this. But your conclusion is what? Did they care? Meaning, when you care about something, you're usually going to interact with that thing. And considering we had events like Jim Crow, considering we had events like the slaves standing up, considering we had events like literal war, civil war in America, yeah, between the South and the North, people cared about slavery. Now, my question is, did slaves care about slavery? Because you know the answer. The answer is yes. This is the point I'm trying to make to you, because you guys want to pivot and start going, Jim Crow didn't involve civil rights wasn't about slavery. It's annoying. It's just bitchy ass behavior. You don't know history. Slavery was different in history, American. We know that, Xen. We know that there was no real taboo behind taking slaves from Africa. Everybody knows that, right? You're not a genius for knowing that. So at the time, yes, slaves were just a commodity. We all know that and acknowledge that. Nobody here is arguing against that. I'm not asking you if it was morally right for Americans to take slaves out of Africa, wherever. It doesn't matter. You don't need to put that in caps. The idea, we're talking about slaves right now, all right? So That question is stupid. No one would ever say no. Exactly the point, Globalize, to prove that you guys know what I'm talking about. This is why that proves it, because you guys are just pointing out no, and you're trying to argue against the validity of my statements. And I'm saying to you, you're dumbasses, because you shouldn't even be arguing with me right now. The idea that slaves cared about slavery, you think that's a conversation that requires a debate? Fine. So I ask you the question, and you're all obviously going to answer yes. That's why you are being pressured to answer the question, all right? That's why. Otherwise, it's stupid, because you guys are yapping on. Most didn't. Most were light slaves. It doesn't matter. Xen. We're talking about black slaves right now in America, all right? That's what we're talking about, Xen, not in the entire world, not the percentage of black versus white slaves. We all know there were a lot more white slaves in history. I don't even know why you're bringing this up. Light, like light, severity, not white skin. Amazing, okay, so we're talking about entirely different things. I don't even understand why you think that this is a relevant thing to bring up within this conversation. It's like you're trying to fight for the severity, light, white, not white skin slaves. It's like, amazing. This is not the time for that, Xen. Shut your mouth. We are talking about the slaves in America, right? We're anchoring our conversation to a specific time and place where an event took place, right? So I'm giving you an example. This is the whole idea. Me trying to explain to you, how about we make religious people serfs and not slaves? I don't know what serfs are. What are serfs? Tell me. I might be open to that. I'm open to negotiation. But at the same time, they just can't have the types of freedoms to make decisions. They're obviously incapable of making their own decisions. Anybody who's religious nowadays, and I will refrain myself from saying that. Anybody who's extremely religious nowadays, you guys genuinely need a come to Pablo moment, all right? You don't need a come to Jesus moment. You don't need a come to Allah or God or any other fucking God, all right? You need a come to the bosom of man moment, all right? You need to understand the value of man. That's what you guys need, all right? Serfs are like slaves, but with slightly more rights. Like, you can't kill a serf. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't think we should kill them. No, definitely not. I don't think we should starve them. I think they should have all their basic human needs like any other civilized human being. They shouldn't be beaten or whipped or anything like that. What you need is them simply to not have freedoms to choose what it is they want to do. All right? So you get food, you get water, you get shelter. You don't get to decide where those shelters and foods and water comes from. All right? So that's what that is. All right? Did anyone tell you that you look like Dynamo the Magician? I have no fucking idea. Let's find out. Do I look like Dynamo? First time chatter. I hope he's handsome because I'm fucking gorgeous. Dynamo the Magician. Let's see who this pussy ass bitch is. Yo, he's ugly as fuck, bro. Bro, what are you talking about? This guy is ugly as fuck, my guy. Yo, shut the fuck up. You can't seriously have that as your first conversation in here. I look like that dog-ass human being? What the fuck? Bro, I'm way too handsome. This guy? This is the guy you think I look like. I'm genuinely offended now. I've never been offended before in my life, but there's a first for everything. I'm genuinely offended. Look at this face. Look at him. He's an ugly motherfucker. No, you guys are just gonna do it. No, shut your mouth. There is no way that this guy, now you guys are just being pedantic because you just want to get a rise out of me. And so you're saying that he's genuinely better looking than me. This guy, this dog ass face, bro, you are killing me right now. Popping, do you see what you've done? Do you see what you've done? Claim responsibility for the unhingedness that is taking place in my chat right now. You are a son of a bitch. How dare you come in my chat and cause chaos like this? This ugly ass, dog ass fucking... Look at him. He's so goddamn ugly, bro. What the fuck? If I look like that, yo. Yo. Bruh. What an ugly ass guy. Holy shit. Not even gonna... Okay, he's not... Okay, I'm just being hyperbolic right now. He's not really that ugly. I'm comparing him to me. He has Arab face. The boss is a Greek god. Yo, Thrillbots. That's my boy. That's my boy right there. Holy shit. Yes. Yes. Greek. What a goddamn Arab face. Bro. He looks like you, but older and more handsome. No, you've just had a cock in your mouth for the last half hour and all over your face doing the old aki, and you can't even see the fucking screen. You're blind. That's what's actually happening. Any other takers? Yeah, he is too pretty to be you. You are taking it up the ass right now and are looking through your balls just to get a glimpse of his penis, all right? That's what's going on right now. Both of you are literally blind. You're dumb as shit. You have no idea what beautiful looks like. This is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. This, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Do you know how many women want my fucking eyelashes and eyes? My teeth are pretty bad. We already know that. Got no problem with that. I have got a bit fucking cheeks. But bro, like this, I can lose this. I've already lost this many times in the past. Everything else though, bro, I will be 50 years old and I will look 30. Sorry, bro. No hate, but it's okay. Popping just came here to stir shit up and okay, I will give you some gratitude. You could have chose a lot worse. People have literally said that I look like a chicken's ass before in this fucking chat. So you're not the worst. I'm not going to be dramatic about it. But yeah. To be fair, there is some resemblance, but yeah, it's very faint. It's very faint. Like the guy looks no. Maybe our teeth are the same. I don't know. I give you 5.5. Bruh. What do you mean 5.5? Suck my dick, bro. I thought we were bros. What do you mean 5.5? Bruh, you guys have no idea. Yo, if I just worked that a little bit, I'd be a 9.7. Like there are very few men who can literally be more handsome than me and have my body. Like, I've literally not worked out in the last 6 years. And look at me. I'm not even that bad, bro. I'm not even that bad. My body is just genetically superior, all right? This is how this works. 7 out of 10. There we go. What is mewing? Is that what mewing is? Yeah, I can't do that. I've got no lips. I've got no lips. I can't do that. That's never going to happen. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Nope. Chicken ass hair. And Raj's face literally describes sucker dick. That's what you need to do. Feminine eyes is not a flex. You can suck on a dick. Do you know what happens to women? Huh? Their pussies literally go when they see my eyes. That's what happens, all right? You have no idea what these eyes are capable of. You have no idea. Zero comprehension. No, nothing. You're dumb as shit. My eyes have got so much pussy in the past, bro. These eyes work wonders. Shut your mouth.